Hello and welcome back to the Metamystic Show. Today we are talking about the Eight of Cups. We're talking about how to walk away from something or someone. And this is the thing about the Eight of Cups, is you're already being called to do so. So it's one of those things where it's like, you're already gone. So as hard as it is to emotionally detach from something, from someone, a situation, a past version of yourself, a form of your own identity, this is the thing. You're already gone from that thing. Because your spirit, it's almost like your future self, your higher self, your spirit is always a couple steps ahead. So it's almost as if this version of you is saying, hey, psst, come on, I'm already over here. That back there, it's expiring as we speak. So the thing about the Eight of Cups is, as hard as it feels to detach from something or someone or an old identity, you're already gone. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The process of letting go. Since you're already gone, in a sense, from whatever you're moving on from, and let me be clear about this, you will feel in your heart that this is the right thing to do, even if you don't do it at first. Like, for example, something super practical. I used to be a CNA, and I had multiple different clients. Oftentimes, I would go to multiple different houses per day, and there were certain positions that I held where I knew that I needed to move on from where I was, but I stayed like a year and a half past what I should have, or a past relationship, or a past version of me. Like, a lot of you know my story, for example, with my ministry. I was a Christian minister. I thought that that was literally my reason for being here. I thought that I incarnated on this planet to be a Christian pastor, minister, prophet, as my side of the church called it. When in a way, I'm still doing the same thing, but my spirit was calling me ahead, and it called me multiple times, but I couldn't hear it. I knew I felt something in my heart. See, this is cups. You feel many times before it logically makes sense in the mind. And as you are walking away, often, if not always, you're gonna feel like it doesn't make sense to the mind. You're gonna feel like, what am I doing? This is crazy. For many of us, we could be leaving behind things that, maybe they're financially lucrative. Maybe it seems like the right thing to do to be with this type of person. It fits more in with the aesthetic of my life, the things I've built. Maybe it's challenging to move beyond, like, for example, with me. For me to leave being a Christian minister and leave being a Christian, I got a text saying to me that it was the equivalent of, let's just say, if we were looking at a past life, it would be an excommunication. It would be a burning at the stake. It would be a sacrilege. It would be a let's burn the witch. It would be like, when you leave certain religions and certain cultures in today's modern world, if you decide to leave, you are done. Like, you are not part of the family anymore. You are not you're not part of the family of God as a whole. You're a reprobate. You are a heretic. Right? So this is a more extreme example. For you, it might literally be like, I need to leave this job, it sucks, but it makes sense that, I need to pay my bills, and kind of seems crazy to move jobs right now in this economy. It could be something as simple as that. Well, it's not really simple, to be honest with you, but you know what I mean. But there is an emotional element to things where our hearts, it doesn't make sense to our logical mind, is my point here. But as we are walking away, we're already walking away. That's the point of this episode. When you are thinking about moving away from something, you're already gone. You're already gone. I like how Chris Reck talks about when he used to do personals, and I see people ask him this question literally when he's on live, on Instagram Live. People will ask him about, relationships, and back when I was a minister, people used to do this to me all the time as well. Just a little bit of a different context, where people would email me about their marriages, their relationships, and say, like, what do I do here? Now, in the Christian religion, you weren't allowed to leave. That's the difference. Thankfully, in our community, we actually have some freedom. Had to check my time. We actually have a little bit of freedom here, where it's like, if something isn't working, if it's not for us, we're allowed to leave. In the Christian faith, you're not allowed to leave. You know what I mean? Even if it's abusive, it's like, oh, just go to a great Christian pastor, counselor to help you through it. I'm not saying you shouldn't try to fix your marriage and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, my point is that he says that if you're asking the question, like, is this person cheating on me? Or like, what's going on with this person? It seems like there's something secretive going on. You're already gone. With the Eight of Cups. Why are you asking in a public forum? And if you asked in a public forum, I'm not calling you out. I'm saying it's like, if you're messaging Chris Reck, if you were messaging me back when I was a Christian minister, and people still message me this now as a tarot reader, same thing, just different flavor, different font, right? If you're asking that, you're already gone. You're emotionally detaching, or like, it's something that has already been brewing. You're already being called away. Have you ever seen that movie Donnie Darko, where he's like being pulled down through the kitchen and his spirit is like pulling him forward? That's the image I'm getting here. And to me, for some reason, the Eight of Cups does have this kind of a spookier vibe, because it's kind of like moving into the fog, moving into the darkness. Because if you were in this scene, imagine if we're in this scene right now, the way it would sound. The waves would be hitting up against these rocks. It's nighttime. This guy, he's looking out over the horizon, looking up at the stars. He's all alone. It's quiet, except for the sound of the waves and him stepping into the wet sand as he's walking here. This is like the moment in the movie where the traveler is like moving away from everything he's ever known, right? This is not a small energy. This is the moment where you look up to the moon and you're just like, I don't even know where I'm going. I just know I need to go. And you just follow your heart at that time, because your heart is the one that's leading the way. It's almost like it's not even of your own accord. It's like your heart is pulling you elsewhere, and your mind is fighting against that. It's the heart and the mind. Those 18 inches apart seem like a distance across the worlds, because the mind and the heart have different languages. For me, the Eight of Cups also talks about finding yourself again. Sometimes what happens when we're in situations that make us feel off somehow, it's kind of like a detachment from the body. Almost like we become numb. And this is a card of emotional detachment. We can stay at jobs, stay in relationships, stay in certain patterns in our day-to-day lives, even if it's like eating unhealthy or something, even though we know we should be eating healthy, but we're eating unhealthy. It's like we can detach from our emotional state and become numb to it because it's easier. Well, it seems easier to the mind. And that's really what I'm talking about today, is the battle between the heart and the mind. And even if we are staying in a situation that our heart is pulling us away from, again, you're already gone. Your heart has already detached. So sure, you might be showing up to work every day. You might be telling your partner that you love them. You know, you might be doing certain things in your day-to-day life that you're like, I'm good. You know, I've done this with so many different things in my life, right? Your heart is already gone, though. And that's the hardest part about the Eight of Cups, is that the mind doesn't catch up with the high vibration of the heart. The heart is a very fast, high vibrational energy. The mind is actually much slower than the heart. The mind is animalistic, basic instincts. This is what we need to survive. This is what makes sense for me and my family and my community. And I'm not saying that we should not be responsible people. I literally lived many, many years, if not my entire life up until 2021, to please my family, please the system I was a part of, to comply, to do these things that I felt like I had to do as part of a religion, as part of a group, as part of, I mean, I'm a Cancer South node. It's like my whole lesson in this life is to learn to be independent. I'm a Capricorn North node, just an example, guys. So for me, detaching Eight of Cups to me was sacrilege. It was literally like I would rather die than detach from my religion, my family, my morals. If I saw myself right now talking to you holding tarot cards in my hand from the past me, I would think that I was demon possessed, according to the mindset that I used to have. I remember a girl emailed me one time back when I was a Christian minister, because as you guys, I'm sure you've caught on to being part of the tarot community, sometimes these prophetic word videos get mixed in with the tarot community, which are Christian prophecies. It's all the same thing. It's all the same spiritual gifts, right? We know that, but the Christians sure as hell don't. Well, this woman, she emailed me and asked me, you know, very concerned for her salvation, saying to me, I've been watching all of these tarot readings. Like, what's going to happen to me? Am I like demon possessed now? Like, you know, is this okay what I'm doing? And at that time, you know, even back when I was a Christian minister, I tried to be very sensitive and tried to see things from both sides and stuff. I was never one of those people that was like, you're going to burn in hell for that. I never once was that way. But in my heart, I was like, the way that I saw it was that it was opening up a door to demonic influence to flow in and flow through. And I saw people in a way of naivete, which now I see I was the naive one. I thought I knew so much, and that's part of the Eight of Cups. Our minds, we think we know so much when we're in a particular field, in a particular group of friends, a family where we were raised with certain ideals, certain moral standards, supposed moral standards, right? Do I have a Sagittarius in the house? Can anybody weigh in on that? What are morals really? You know, I need some people who are philosophical in the comments. When we're dealing with the Eight of Cups, our heart knows the way, yet our mind says to our heart, you're a fool. You're naive. In fact, I'm far superior to you. Literally, it believes that it's up here and the heart is down here. It believes it's above the heart, when in reality, it actually goes this way, because the heart is the chakra between the other chakras. There are 3 chakras up here. There are 3 chakras down here. And the heart is the 4th one right in the middle. The heart is the central. It's the motherboard. It's really the ruler. And yet the mind is foolish enough to believe it knows best. Right? Following our hearts seems foolish, naive. Seems kind of like we're dreamers, or we're detached, or we're messy. You know, what are you going to do? Just like leave everything you've ever known and like move across the country? What are you going to do? Just like do this or do that? That doesn't make logical sense. This seems this way and that seems that way. But for us spiritual people, we are used to operating in a more etheric form. Like our episode that we talked about last week, we talked about the 7 of Pentacles on how to make decisions, right? The best way to move through it is to think through everything. And if you missed that episode, go watch that. We talked about how to make decisions. Now, the 8 of Cups, really my main point of today's episode, it's a very simple point. When you're at the 8 of Cups, you've left the scene, you've left the building. Even if you stay with a person for the next 20 years, you're married to them. And I'm not going to get involved with relationships, marriages. That's why I don't even do love readings. If it comes up, I read on it. I prefer to stay out of it because, like I said, back when I was a minister, people used to send me these long, like paragraph after paragraph after paragraph, emails about their marriage and stuff. My point is, you could be with a person for the next 20 years, but be emotionally detached. What sort of a life is that? You might as well just be single and be in tune with your heart. And that's what I was trying to talk about before with this 8 of Cups. As he's moving through this scene and he's hearing the sound of the waves and he's looking up at the moon and he feels that mist from the waves hitting him on his face, and that wind blows and he feels the water moving over his cheek. He's moving towards the truth of his essence again, his heart. We can become detached from our own selves, almost like a little bit moving away from our bodies, like we're almost like living in an out-of-body experience, but our mind is saying, we're doing the right thing, we're doing the responsible thing, we're doing the... And I'm not giving people an excuse to be messy and chaotic and full of drama and just be like, whatever, anyways, I'm on to my next thing. I'm just going to leave everything to crash and burn. No. I'm a Virgo stellium. I have a lot of earth in my chart, right? I'm a very practical person, and I also believe in being as respectful as possible in situations. If we can leave them with grace, leave them with grace. Think things through. Don't just make rash, do rash things and then say, oh, it's just my heart led me to do it. That is not this episode. Your heart is the one that's leading the way, really. Your heart is the one that's calling the shots and is the captain of the ship in reality. But the heart is wise, and the heart understands the monkey mind. The heart understands the reptile brain. The heart understands that, through all of our years of humanity, there are things like survival. Like if we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs and we look at the bottom of that pyramid, the first couple tiers of that are basic survival. So if, it seems literally stupid to leave behind lucrative jobs, to leave behind relationships that, maybe there's no love there. My heart has been detached for the past 5 years, but, it makes sense. It fits in with my lifestyle. Whatever. I have kids, whatever. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to keep qualifying it. Because this stuff is complicated. That's why I'm getting, it's a heavy energy, because with the Eight of Cups, many of us, when we're in the Eight of Cups, we have realized along this journey as he's walking on the beach that we lost ourselves. It's that moment of realization that I lost myself all those years ago. And there's also an element of having to forgive yourself for that. Having to forgive yourself for taking the easy way out, for being a people pleaser, for doing the thing that made most sense at the time. Like I said, I thought that other people coming to me were naive when I was a Christian minister. Now I see that I was the one who didn't know what I was talking about. And I spent 20 years studying the depths of the Bible, the Hebrew, the Greek in the New Testament, right? This wasn't just like, I kind of read a couple Christian devotionals and called it a day. I devoted myself. I'm a Virgo stellium. I made it my everything. I felt like I was a theologian. I felt like I understood things that most people didn't. And you know what I'm seeing now? That was pride. And there's an element of this as we're walking away, walking into the darkness on the Eight of Cups, where we're thinking through all that. We're thinking about, who was I back there? And we have to, at that moment, give ourselves grace and forgive ourselves, because we did the best with what we knew at the time, with the light we had at the time. And we shouldn't be afraid to commit to what we believe in because we're worried that we're going to change again down the line. We should put all of our heart into what we believe and what we stand for, without fear, but at the same time be open to the fact that we may be on this Eight of Cups trek again and be in this cycle again where we look at ourselves in the mirror and we look at ourselves in the light of the moon, in the subconscious, and we say, I did it again. I lost myself again. And that's when we just embrace ourselves, forgive ourselves. If we need to make amends with anybody else along the way, we do those things. And we move on. And we let go. And we walk away. And we detach. And we start anew. So I have this song called Walk Away Lullaby that I'm going to sing for you guys. And it's not really a song as much as it is kind of it's like a lullaby. It's like a song that I'm singing to you as you're walking away from something. And I'm going to play that for you guys. I hope that this episode was helpful. I hope that it helped you think about things. If there's anything in your life right now that you feel your heart is already detached from, but you're too scared to leave, that's okay. You don't have to leave right away. Like I said, it's a very practical example, but with a past job that I had, it's like I stayed 1.5 years past what I should have, and I thought about it for 1.5 years if I should leave. Sometimes you need to think about something for 1.5 years. And then you move on physically. This is in the emotional heart space. This isn't necessarily literal. It's not necessarily that you need to leave that person right now or leave that job right now or This can just be a secret between you and yourself. You don't have to make any rash decisions. Be gentle with yourself. Go slow, and just allow yourself to start making plans to move on and let yourself start thinking about how you can move into your next chapter and just prepare yourself. But be honest. If you're thinking about leaving something, you're probably already gone. And our heart knows best. Our heart wouldn't lead us away into something else if it wasn't saying to us, hey, there's something better over here. Right? I love you guys. It's been Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. Remember, you can always listen to this show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. All right, everybody. I'll also subscribe to my Honeybee music channel. Honeybee is spelled B33. All right, I love you guys. And here's my song, Walk Away, Lullaby. Okay, everyone, deep breath in and release. One more time. Just let the cards fall. Let the house that was made of cards, just let it fall down and walk away. I'm moving on. I'm letting go now. I'm moving on. I'm letting go now. It's hard to go, but still I'm walking. It's hard, this letting go thing. And to be fair, I feel despair, and I don't care. I don't care. I don't care, 'cause I'm free, 'cause I'm free. I'm free. I'm had this guitar for, I don't know, like, I want to say 15 years. That doesn't sound right, but this guitar, I've written so many songs on this. I have brought this so many places in my car, in the woods, from moving from one place to another multiple times. I hope this song helped you guys. It's meant to be listened to in a way of a meditation, an invocation, and kind of in a sort of way, not a banishing spell, but kind of like an intention to separate yourself from a situation, because even if we are the strongest people in the room, we've been through a lot, you know, we're strong, and even if we're ready to walk away from something, that doesn't mean that it's easy. And that's why I wrote here, it's hard to go, but still I'm walking. So it's just this declaration, this affirming of, this is hard, and I'm not going to pretend that it's not. To be fair, I feel despair, but I don't care. And it's that detachment of the Eight of Cups, that emotional detachment of, this is hard, but I'm still going to continue walking away, and making a conscious declaration of that. 'Cause I